Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, folks, or good morning, depending where you may be. Welcome to the June issue of our monthly Mailers Hub webinar. This month, we're very happy to have somebody who can give you a little bit more information and enjoyment than just simply me droning on. We have Kristen McKiernan from AccuZIP, who's going to talk about AccuEngage and how that can be used to develop an informed delivery campaign. And that's something which I think many mailers are becoming interested in learning more about as the Postal Service rolls out its informed delivery service, and it's having more and more success in gathering subscribers. So without any further delay, let's go through the usual postal stuff at the top of the program here. The latest thing we have are April numbers, and April wasn't that bad as months go. As you can see, our revenue was a little bit ahead of what it was last year, but unfortunately expenses continue to be a problem. The so-called controllable expenses seem to be less and less controllable these days. So the Postal Service had an operating loss of about $157 million and a net loss of 171 after factoring in all the wild cards of various amortizations and other obligations. Volume was up actually compared to last year by 1%, but first class mail did not help any. It's down almost 3. Standard mail was what brought up the number, and the ever variable periodicals had a good month actually, being up almost 5%, but that's just compared to last year. Shipping and package services is where the good news continues to be, up 6%. The Postal Service's workforce once again is being brought down to a level that's necessary. It's down 3.2% career employees, but the non-career people, that group is being increased, of course, because the flexibility is greater with such employees and the cost is lower. So far for the year, here's how things look. Revenue is up a little bit, but unfortunately controllable expenses, as we talked about a bit ago, are up even more, leading to a loss of almost $400 million, whereas last year they were up by almost 6. In net income, or net loss rather, for the year is approaching $2 billion, pardon me, which is nearly $2.5 billion worse than where we were a year ago. Volume is better than expected so far, but still almost 3% down from last year, led, of course, by first class and marketing mail. Standard mail is off for the year by almost 3%, but that was probably due in large part to the very poor performance of all mail classes in the fall of calendar 2017. So far, the same figure for shipping and packaging, up about 6%. And the trends here are no news to anybody. Diversion continues, of course, particularly in commercial first class. You've got some costs that just will not be brought under control. The network is still the same size, same number of post offices, more and more delivery stops with less and less mail to be carried. Not a good set of combinations, not a good set of trends. And of course, competitive products, although still growing, is not quite what it was a year or so ago. This shows you where things are right now in the CPI. It bounced up again in May compared to had been in the past, and is now standing at just over 2.1%. So the bottom chart shows you the rate of growth, and that shows a sharp uptick in the past 3 or 4 months, so that perhaps the Postal Service's hopes for another 2% increase in the fall are not yet dashed, although they've got just 3 or 4 months more to really pick up the pace here. Without that, the possibility for a 2% increase or greater is getting slimmer and slimmer. It'll probably be well below 2% if this trend continues. The household diary study is something which comes out every year. It was released this year earlier in June, and it's based on survey data from 2017, fiscal 2017. And while it's interesting to show, the larger trends we keep talking about, how things have changed or have not changed over time. The last issue of Mailers Hub newsletter, Mailers Hub News, had a lot of information about this, which you can research at your leisure. You can also find the whole report, if you wish, on the PRC website. But some of the major findings are, reinforce what maybe we already know. Mail to or from households is the lion's share of total volume. What goes business to household, household to business, or B2B, what goes B2B or other directions is simply not that important. As is household to household mail not that important, because people don't send cards and letters the way they used to. 58% of mail that households received was advertising, standard mail. And compared to 2007, you can see how some trends have changed markedly. Of course, the past 10 years, 12 years have been the most disruptive for mail volume and for the Postal Service and the mailing industry as a group. Correspondence volume just simply isn't what it used to be, because we all use email and text. And electronic payments and payments by mail have more or less switched positions. So now the majority of payments, which of course is first-class mail, is going by electronic means. And that's one of the contributors to the loss of first class. And most advertising now, as you can see, 90% is standard mail, whereas what comes into the household as first-class advertising has dropped sharply. So again, you see the same trends here that we've been talking about for years, it seems, reflected in the data found by the Household Diary Study. What else is going on here? Well, it's summertime, not an awful lot happening. There's a new nominee for the Postal Regulatory Commission's board that would bring it up to strength of 5 people. Michael Kubianda was nominated, and he has experience in the postal world. He came from the Hill, worked briefly for the Postal Service, I think, and then worked for the OIG before leaving for the private sector. So he does know his way around the postal world. Meanwhile, in Congress, there are a number of bills going on, or a number of bills that have been filed or on which there's action being taken. You'll get more information about that in Monday's issue of the newsletter. But right now, Senator Sanders put in some familiar recommendations to the President's task force, things about which you've heard him orate before, and you can read that in the last issue. And of course, the Senate continues to not take action on 2 of the board nominees. I was told that there is one senator who has an objection to one of the nominees, and of course, this is the Bernie Sanders story all over again, but this time not Bernie Sanders, the person doing it. So until we get somebody off the dime here to remove her objections, the nominees will not go forward, and we will continue to not have a board. The Postal Service will still not have a board to do anything. Other things going on here, which you can read more about in the last issue. We had a decision by the Court of Appeals that basically said the Postal Regulatory Commission was correct in how it calculated the costs for competitive products, and therefore the share that those products should contribute to the overall cost of the Postal Service. This is important because the case was being pushed very heavily by UPS, who wanted to see the cost calculations changed so that the prices charged by the Postal Service in turn would go up, thereby diminishing the revenues taken in by the Postal Service and hopefully, in UPS's mind, driving more business their way. So this was a frustration for them. The last point there is that Informed Delivery continues to grow and now has over 10 million subscribers. And that may be a good point on which to end my portion. Just with a quick reminder, we have some more webinars coming up every month. We have our conference coming up at the end of September in Alexandria. More information will be coming out to you shortly about that. But meanwhile, as I said, the segue to discussions of Informed Delivery could happen right now with my handing off our presentation to Kristen at AccuZIP. Kristen, please take it over here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Leo, for that, of course, always informative information about what's going on in the industry. And thank you for having me today to do my portion of the webinar. And of course, thank you to the audience attendees for taking time out of your day to watch this. So if any of you were at the National Postal Forum, as you know, the Post Office is pushing as their main initiative the informed delivery platform and interactive campaign, signing up users with their whole motto being informed customers. I feel like informed was everywhere it could be branded at the National Postal Forum and as the Post Office goes through this marketing initiative. So AccuZIP, what I was going to cover today, just to kind of give you a brief outline of what to expect as far as my presentation goes, I'm going to cover just kind of a high-level summary of what is informed delivery. I'm sure many of you know, some of you may not. Cover what it is, talk about briefly about the award that AccuZIP won for our informed delivery campaign, what our position is, how we feel as a software vendor in the mailing sector for over 25 plus years about informed delivery, some of the challenges, and then go through an actual informed delivery campaign setup. So with that, informed delivery is basically a mechanism where consumers sign up. It's only available for residential right now, so it's not available for business mailers. So if you're a company, you're not going to sign up for informed delivery as an end user. They will be adding that in the future. The Post Office has stated that. So when the scan, what happens with informed delivery is an image is scanned by the Post Office's equipment. And if you are an informed delivery user and you've signed up for the service, in your email box by default, you will receive a grayscaled image copy of what's going to be in your mailbox in the coming days. So what the Post Office has done, though, and what I'm going to focus on is informed delivery for business mailers. So what this is it has allowed business mailers to do interactive informed delivery campaigns, meaning that they can replace the grayscaled image, which comes into a user's email box or informed delivery dashboard with a color image, and then also make that color image interactive for a hyperlink to be a call to action, link to a web page, etc. So there's some different components of informed delivery for the business mailer. This here is the informed delivery for business mailers Post Office website that has a lot of valuable information. So it's informed delivery for business mailers. They've got a PDF. They have an interactive campaign guide overview, which you can go through. It's 21 pages. Often, and this will what'll segue into why we've launched our professional service called AccuEngage, is people have found this a little bit maybe difficult to navigate, kind of to start to set up, aren't sure that they're doing it correctly. So we've offered a service to help business mailers set up their informed delivery campaigns. You've got the Post Office has put together, this is really nice, and I'll be covering this. They've put together a PDF of ride-along images, the image specs that are required of that, and of their representative images. And then you've got your interactive campaign frequently asked questions. So there's some great resources if you are interested as a business mailer. Informed delivery is a free service, so you can go on, sign up for it, which I'll be showing you how. And this is a great way to start for resources that the Post Office has provided on how to set up informed delivery campaigns. So how it works for consumers: consumers sign up for informed delivery. The mailing is imaged during processing. Images are matched to delivery points and mailer interactive campaigns are applied if you've set up the mailer interactive campaigns as a business mailer. The user is going to receive the mail piece images in their informed delivery daily digest email inbox or their dashboard. And then they will be, of course, receiving the physical mail pieces in their mailboxes. Here's some stats of what consumers are saying, that 95% are satisfied or very satisfied. They would recommend it, and 70% of notifications are open daily. And then the value here of informed delivery for business mailers, and again, this is the Post Office's position, so this on their website is their position. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Post Office, but the value here is that you're going to receive multiple impressions from a single mail piece. It's going to enhance the customer call to action with interactive digital content, and then it's going to connect with the customers whenever and wherever. So even as they travel, if you're sending out a mail piece and they've signed up for informed delivery, they now are receiving that mail piece image in their informed delivery daily digest. And the post office, what they used to have, what was called the Irresistible Mail Award. This year, they called it the Next Generation Campaign Award. And what they solicited was from anybody out there as a business mailer who wanted to submit their informed delivery campaigns for this contest of how they used informed delivery. So AccuZIP was really excited. We were crowned the grand champion for our informed delivery campaign. The post office selected 4 finalists prior to the National Postal Forum. And then at the National Postal Forum, actual attendees of the forum voted on who they thought should be crowned the grand champion. So the post office had some great ballots and setups there at the forum. People voted, and then they made the announcement. There were some great campaigns in there. Circusaurus, Lunch and Learn, and an outdoor patio furniture company did it as well. And then what AccuZIP did, and this is important when I want to talk about just speaking from my perspective as the president of AccuZIP, our position on informed delivery is it's a slippery slope. We of course want to promote mail, and as from Leo's presentation, we can see volumes are going down, especially in first class, standards up, not but where we want it to be. We don't want email to cannibalize, of course, the actual physical mail experience because we are in the mailing and mailing software industry. So our position in the campaign creative that we took was trying to elicit some emotion that users do really care, and we went after the college demographic, and I won't get too into the weeds with the campaign, but we mailed the physical mail piece to them and of course sent it out via informed delivery, but the idea was that people still care where their physical mail piece is going. So once they care where their mail piece is going, if it's going to the wrong address and it's still going to their parents' house, go online. The post office is still relevant. You don't have to go down to the post office with the change of address card, and you can actually change your address online. And we use informed delivery to say, hey, and I'll go through this, tired of your parents opening your mail, activate your privacy, go online, you can change this, fill out a change of address because you still do care where the physical mail piece goes. So that was really important to us from an AccuZIP software vendor and industry partner, that we still make mail relevant. We do not want the digital experience to replace the physical mail experience. We want it to enhance it. Therefore, it's again a slippery slope. You've got to be careful of how much information do you give at the inbox level with informed delivery to make it so that customers are still inclined to go to their mailbox and retrieve that mail piece. So that was from, a marketing and from a corporate perspective from how AccuZIP goes. Now, let's say you're on board, you think it's a great idea, you're a mailer, or your customers, you may be an MSP, and that was another thing is we have our customers saying, our clients are interested, how do we go about doing this? So now what I'm going to go through is I'm actually going to go through setting up an informed delivery campaign through the post office's informed delivery campaign portal. So first thing you're going to do is you're of course going to want to create the creative. So you're going to need to get the images from your clients, or if you actually do the creative, you're going to have to get the images. You're going to need a ride-along image, and you're going to need a representative image. The representative image represents the mail piece that you are sending out, and it needs to be representative of that. The ride-along piece, and this here is kind of a snapshot of what's going to be coming to your mailbox soon. The ride-along image is going to be this smaller image that you can think of as like a clickable call to action. So these two colored images, the representative image is going to replace the default grayscale image, and the ride-along image is going to come as well in the informed deliveries inbox, user's inbox, and you're going to be able to tie a hyperlink to it as a call to action. So you're going to want to get those creatives from yourselves or your clients, depending on who's controlling what parts of the campaign. So you're going to go into your business customer gateway. That's where the informed delivery campaign mailer portal is. So it's https://gateway.usps.com. I'm sure all of you are familiar with that. You're going to sign in. And you're going to go in Other Services. So this is where you're going to be setting up your informed delivery campaign. And it's the Informed Delivery Mailer Campaign Portal. So if you don't have access, you're going to click on Get Access, and then you're going to go to the service. And here is where you are going to set up your informed delivery business, the campaign, basically, as a business mailer. First thing I want to touch on is the pre-campaign analysis. This is very important. It's important for you to know how many people in this campaign that you're sending out are actually signed up for informed delivery. So you're going to run a pre-campaign analysis report. So you're going to click here, and you can say Run Pre-Campaign Analysis Report. You're going to enter the name of the campaign, and then you're going to upload a zip file. So I'm going to show you here a sample. It's important. So this is a pre-campaign analysis report. So the CSV criteria, basically you're creating a file called ZIP11, and what it contains is the ZIP11 data that is in your mailing, the file that you're going to be mailing out. What that's going to give you back is it's going to give you back a pre-campaign analysis. So in your ZIP11 file, you may have 10,000, or I'm sorry, this is from the post office, their sample reports, 103,231. And then it's going to tell you how many eligible records in that file are actually signed up for informed delivery. So this way your analytics aren't skewed. You know that out of the mail pieces that you're sending out, only this number of users are actually signed up for informed delivery. So those are the only potential responses that you're going to get from informed delivery, because that's how many users are set up. The post office right now for demographic data, they do, and you can download this here on their website. They update this regularly. This is user and household data. So this actually tells you how many, and this is right now the only information that you get. There's no other demographic information letting us know as businesses or MSPs or software vendors who's signed up for informed delivery. So it's sort of a shot in the dark in the beginning to figure out, until you do your pre-campaign analysis, out of these 10.4 million, you've got some geographical data that they break it down, but out of that, we don't know until you do a pre-campaign analysis. And again, it doesn't identify who, but it will tell you how many of these 2.4 million are in your campaign that you're going to be sending out via informed delivery. So you're going to run your pre-campaign analysis, determine if it's worth it, basically, to run the informed delivery campaign. If you have 0 subscribers, you might as well, there's no use sending it out informed delivery. If you've got a great saturation, perfect. You have potential of increasing those impressions. Then you're going to go to campaigns. And I've set up here a sample campaign. And here are the different components that need to be set up for an informed delivery interactive campaign. You're going to set up the brand name. So this is the branding. Maybe it's you or your client. You're going to set up a campaign title. And again, you're simply just typing in text here. You're going to send out or set up a campaign code, which the post office identifies as a unique identifier, and they recommend an abbreviated company name, campaign start date, and extension if there's more than one campaign. Maybe you're doing an A/B test. So you've got your brand display, you've got your campaign title, and then you've got your campaign code. Then very importantly, because this will affect if you get informed delivery, actually if your campaign gets into the informed delivery stream, the post office also has some frequently asked questions of, why am I not getting any results, or why did my campaign not go to informed delivery users as an interactive colored image campaign. In-home delivery, so your start date's recommended to be, a start date is recommended to be 3 days before, and an end date 3 days after your in-home delivery date. So you're going to set up your campaign start and end dates. These are also extremely important. If you don't have these correct, your interactive campaign is not going to be launched through informed delivery. You need the MID that you used in the IMB, and then you're going to need the starting and ending serial number range. So the MID, serial number range, starting and ending. So those are the components of the basic portion of setting up the actual, the kind of the crux and the technical back end. And this is again where we identified a challenge that users had. They don't know, if we're servicing small mailers, our software, they don't know where to find their MID, where to find their serial numbers, and that's where AccuEngage came in. Of course, other users may not need that. They know right what their MIDs and serial numbers are for their campaign. They can pop it right here into the portal. You're going to say save and continue. Now, this is the component of the portal where you're building the campaign. So this is where you're going to be uploading your creative. So you can upload your image here. And again, those specs which can be found here, very, very specific though. So it's max 200. You've got to meet those specs. If you don't, it's going to give you an error. Again, recommended sizing. You can also upload a media library to your informed delivery campaign portal. So I've uploaded some images here. You've got, I believe it's a 10 image max, but you can do that. And that way you can select from your image library that's on your portal. So you're going to upload your image, and then you're going to insert here a link. So this is going to be the link that actually is going to be a hyperlink to, if somebody gets this mail piece in informed delivery and they click on it, it's going to go to this particular link. So this is the representative image. So if I were to go here, this is going to show you, this is the actual postcard that got mailed out for this particular campaign that I'm demoing. The representative image is basically the creative of the front of the postcard. So this is what they're actually getting. So this is what they're getting in their mailbox. This is the representative image that they're getting in their informed delivery inbox. The second creative component is going to be your ride-along image. And this is what, again, is like, think of it as a click-to-call or a call-to-action button that's going to be in their informed delivery inbox. So as you can see, we use this one. So this is not on the mail piece at all. This is only going to show up in the informed delivery campaign user's inbox or dashboard. And so this is what we used. It's again going to be small. If you go here, this gives you an idea of the two together. There's your representative image. So this would be the lady with the face mask, and then here would be the activate ride-along image, which is here. Again, you can set up your test link and where is it going to go? It's going to go there. So if somebody clicked on that in the inbox, this is where it's going to go. If somebody clicked on the link that I've set up here in their inbox, this is where it's going to go, to a landing page. So you tie hyperlinks to those images in the informed delivery campaign. You can preview this. This is a great tool, and we send it out to our AccuEngage customers as part of their campaign setup. So you can actually send a preview. So I can say, so this is what informed delivery users would see when this campaign, instead of a grayscaled image, this is what they're going to see. And I can email that preview. And so you can email it to your client for approval, to yourself for approval. So if I were to send this, if I were to send this to Leo, he would get this as a sending of the preview, and it would go directly to his inbox. And then you're going to go ahead and review the campaign. Make sure everything looks okay. So here's your campaign description. Here's your campaign media. And then save and continue, and then you would submit the campaign. Once the campaign has launched, it's going to change from draft to active. And once back here to campaigns, once the campaign is complete, it's going to show complete, and that's where you can start running your post-campaign analysis report. You can also set up templates. I should let you know that as well. So if you do regular types of campaigns, you can set up 5 templates. So you can just choose those templates and then pop in and out the different media. And the media here is going to be your different media. So you can see I've uploaded 3 representative images and 3 ride-along images so that I have these available to me in my portal, ready to go when I want to start setting up informed delivery and sending campaigns. So now your informed delivery campaign set up, you've launched it, it started hitting. Now you want to see how effective it was. Here's where you can run your post-campaign analysis report. So you would generate the reports on the campaign screen. So you would select here which ones you want, and you would generate the report. It takes a little bit of time depending on how big the mailing was, etc. So what I've done here for this webinar purpose, and you can see you can always go back, all the reports are stored here in your campaign portal. But I wanted to show you some samples of those post-campaign reports. So you've got your post-campaign summary report. So it's got the campaign display name, the campaign title, the code, how many mail pieces, how many emails were opened, and then you've got your open and click-through rates. And you've got some field descriptions that show what these particular fields are. And then you've got your post-campaign detail report. So this actually shows you detail of when and who has clicked on those links in their informed delivery box. The who is important. Right now, you're going to only get the 5-digit zip code because of PII, the post office cannot give personal information of who clicked, but what they are adding, so we know that this mail piece 6604, we don't know anything else except for by the zip 5, so you would know how geographically how this informed delivery campaign performed. Coming in July, the informed delivery department has told me that they will be adding the IMB, the full IMB, so you can actually you can actually tie in the who actually clicked on it to the actual mail recipient. And again, however, whatever type of mailing it is, take your next step in the campaign. Our next step is, whether you want to reach out to the customer. So it's really just giving you those analytics. So they are working through the kinks of that, making sure that, of course, security is on the top of everybody's mind, that they're providing good information for mailers, but that it is secure. So now that you've done your post-campaign analysis report, so that's it. You've set up your campaign, and I'm going to go through kind of just a summary review here. I put together just a little slideshow of we're almost there. So kind of just to cover what we did through how to set up an informed delivery campaign as a business mailer. So you're going to go in, you're going to log in through your gateway, you're going to set up your campaign information. You're going to upload your creative. And again, it's a good idea to have these on hand. Again, they're very specific of what you need, and all those specs are on that PDF from the post office. You are going to put in your links for the landing pages that you want those creatives to go to. And then the challenge is the goal, and I touched on this in the beginning, is that the idea is to add a digital experience to your physical mail pieces using the informed delivery service. And of course, the piece has to be mailed to begin with for even it to go through informed delivery. So in that way, we are promoting mail, but they've got to work together so that one doesn't cannibalize the other. Here's what we learned. We like it. And what we really took out of it, though, was how can we help our customers? So this is something the post office is so heavily promoting. How do we, and now I speak from AccuZIP, how do we help our customers? We help them, we educate them, we give them a service we give them the resources to go and, of course, learn it on their own, or we help them if they believe that it's something that they want to include in their campaigns or offer to their customers as an additional revenue stream as an MSP. We want them to be able to use this service and this technology that the post office has created. And their post office tagline for this is create once, connect everywhere. We came up with, our service that we offer, and it's to AccuZIP customers or anybody out there who wants help with the informed delivery campaign setup. You can do it yourselves. It's a free service. So if you go through the portal, use all the post office's resources. They only have email support right now for informed delivery. I have been told that they will be adding phone support, I believe in August. Don't quote me on that, but right now it is only email only. So we saw that users were struggling. They thought this is great, but how do I embrace it? They get into the portal and then get lost. So we've offered what's called AccuEngage, which is a professional services for informed delivery campaign setups. Or again, you can do it themselves or educate your customers to do it, again, depending on what your position is in the market. And lastly, if you're interested in AccuZIP, of course, or the AccuZIP or the AccuEngage, you can contact us, and we are happy to help answer any of those questions. And with that said, I will go ahead and pass the ball back to Leo, and you can take it from there. And Leo, I'll actually go ahead and show your screen for the questions. I think that'll make it kind of cleaner.
Okay, sure. Well, thank you, Kristen. That was really interesting. My head's spinning a little bit because of all the information that's there. But I'll tell you, the one thing that this brought back to mind in some ways was how the Postal Service rolled out every door direct mail at one point a few years ago. And there was a great deal of concern within the industry about how that might cause harm to mailing service companies until they realized that the clients who are supposedly going to use informed EDDM found it very complex and turned to MSPs for help in producing the EDDM mailings. So that what was initially a concern among the mailing industry, in fact, turned out to be a benefit. And here I think we have another example, as you said, of how MSPs can take what their clients may see as a great opportunity and turn it into an opportunity, for them, rather, to provide an additional service. To your point, I think having a way to make hard copy mail still attractive and interesting to advertisers and useful to recipients is critical to keeping our place in the world of communications and advertising. So making informed delivery work for everybody is probably in all of our best interests. With having said that, Jennifer, do we have any questions, any place from any of our listeners?
Yes, we do have a question, and it's kind of a long one, so bear with me. Can you talk about the difference between the email-enabled users versus the registered users of informed delivery? 10 million versus 5.7 million emails seems like a big difference.
Kristen, I think that's yours.
Yes. And this is to my knowledge, again, the post office would be the best source to answer that. But what I believe that is to be is when you sign up as a consumer for informed delivery, by default, you automatically get access to the informed delivery dashboard. As an enhancement, you can ask to also be notified via email and receive your informed delivery daily digest via email. And that's what those email-enabled users are. So the email-enabled users, that 5.7 million is part of the 10.4 million. The remainder chose to opt out of email. They can just go on and log into their informed delivery dashboard and see their daily digest there.
Okay, that I think answers the question pretty well. I know there's one thing that confused me as well, so thank you. Anything else, Jen?
No other questions popping up right at the moment.
Okay, well, I think if anybody has any questions, they can do as they always have the ability to do and drop an email to me, drop an email to info@mailershub.com, or they can contact Kristen directly if they want to know more about what she had presented, including, the services that she offers. Otherwise, we have, again, the reminders for our webinars coming up every month. This is our schedule right now. We have our conference coming up at the end of September. We're going to get some information about that out shortly, including the agenda and speakers. It'll have some training opportunities as well, which we hope subscribers and attendees will take advantage of. Until then, again, barring any questions coming at the last minute, I want to thank Kristen for participating today in the webinar, for the valuable information she provided subscribers. I want to thank everybody who called in and has been listening. The conference and the call information will be available to you later on as a recording if you happen to not take notes fast enough today. So again, thank you a lot to everyone. Thank you to Jennifer for being the ever helpful person behind the screen. And thanks to all of you for calling in. We'll talk to you in about a month. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.